Hey folks, and welcome back to Glenn and Adrian's Rock Talk. That's Adrian.
And that's Glenn.
And today we return to Rush with a song off of the Hold Your Fire album, an album we haven't gone to that many times. We've looked at songs like Mission and Time Stands Still. We might have done Force 10, I don't remember. But certainly there's a lot more on here that we'd like to check out. And we know this is one of those albums a lot of people didn't check out. You know, after people discovered Rush as a hard rock trio in the early 80s, they changed their sound up a little bit. It's probably nobody who's watching this doesn't already know. It became more keyboard-oriented for a little while, and Alex was kind of relegated to the back. And this album was the peak of that phenomenon. The next one was Presto, where they came back to a more guitar-based core, like there were far fewer keyboards. So I have a copy of this record. I admittedly bought it many, many years later, but I enjoy the record, but this is one that a lot of Rush fans may not have. It's called Hold Your Fire. It's from 1987. The big hit was Time Stands Still with Amy Mann on guest vocals. We're going to look at Lock and Key today, which is the one that starts off side 2. There's an actual music video for this, and it looks like it's clear for us to use. I mean, live stuff is usually no problem with Rush, but the videos are a little hit or miss. Sometimes they block them, but this, I think, is going to be okay. I believe they only made 2 music videos for this album, and we've seen the other one, The Time Stands Still. So, Adrian, have you ever heard this song before?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
I'm one of those Rush fans that, hasn't heard from this era.
There are some Rush fans that think this is the best stuff they ever did. I'm more on your side of the fence with that one. I do enjoy the album, though. I mean, there are times I get into the mood just to play that Rush record. So let's go ahead and check it out, and then maybe after we can look at lyrics or what have you, and make sure we know what the song's about. All right, here we go.
suck up the killer instinct and throw away the key.
All right, well, let's take a moment. What do you think?
Interesting that they faded out like that after all that.
Oh, well, yeah, that's what it does on the album. Yeah,
Okay.
they may have been thinking about a hit single, perhaps at that point. You know, they kind of have to generate something that's going to get on the radio, you know, but that may have necessitated, I mean, it's already a 5-minute long song. So maybe they were like, okay, bring it down, you know. Maybe they were aiming for 5 minutes a song because there's 8 songs on the album, and it used to be standard to get a 40-minute album, you know, at that time. So that's possible. Yeah. It's a funny piece of curio. I mean, watching those guys, I was trying to think, what if Led Zeppelin had carried on and it was 1987 and they had turned a little bit more keyboard oriented? Still, Jimmy got his licks in there and everything, but otherwise, they went through the same kind of transformation as Rush did here, like from between Moving Pictures and this. And it's kind of a funny thought because, you know, Robert Plant was making stuff that was more on the commercial side at that point on his own, still critically acclaimed for the most part, but some of it, like, I never got into Tall Cool One, you know. So, but the thing is, every time, and this is the period where you might go, well, they got kind of cheesy for a while, you know, in terms of their styles, in terms of what they were actually putting on their record. I would almost say that, except that this is Rush. And we already know they've always been a little bit fashion challenged, and that's fine. I mean, who isn't, right? I mean, granted, there's a few, you know, I'm being facetious, but you know what I mean. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but the music is so cool. I mean, every time you think it's going to get cheesy, suddenly they do something incredible musically, and you're like, oh my goodness, all right, so it's Rush, you know. Even that very abbreviated Alex solo was just gold, I thought. You know, I was really into it, and then suddenly it switched gears.
About that, I should get this question out of the way, because I really should know this, but does Alex usually use a whammy?
I think that he does. Yeah. We hear it a lot on, it's part of his technique, I believe. Yeah.
But I was just wondering if he even had a whammy most of the time on his guitar, and maybe he does.
I'm going through my mind here, everything on Permanent Waves.
Permanent Waves.
So you heard that album a lot. Do you remember now, if you think about it, do you hear a lot of whammy on that? Because it seems like maybe not.
Not a lot, but I think there's a little.
Yeah.
In some parts.
I think you're right.
He's bending the string, but... You know, I think it's possible he's using whammy. So
probably not as much, but he may have had it at his disposal. That may be something we have to take a look at. Maybe we'll do an episode trying to figure out when he made the switch, or maybe people know already. You know, that'd be kind of an interesting topic, actually. Let's see what Neil had to say on this one. So I don't want to face the killer instinct. Face it in you or me. And we carry a sensitive cargo below the waterline, ticking like a time bomb with a primitive design. Behind the finer feelings, the civilized veneer, the heart of a lonely hunter guards a dangerous frontier. Okay, I get it. He's talking about us walking around ticking time bombs, you know, doing our best.
You know, from one of the words I heard, I was wondering if this song might be about, I don't know, emotional repression.
Well, let's keep going. Let's keep that in mind. The balance can sometimes fail. Strong emotions can tip the scale. Like you can go murder somebody in a fit of rage. Don't want to silence a desperate voice for the sake of security. No one wants to make a terrible choice on the price of being free. I don't want to face the killer instinct, face it in you or me, so we keep it under lock and key. Yeah. So we jail those that cannot handle those emotions. Now, granted, you don't want to go around killing people, but yeah, there is a certain repression involved in being a member of society. And it's important that we maintain some of that.
I was also wondering if the killer instinct was a desperate voice to be silenced or heard, perhaps. Something to be contained under lock and key, I guess.
It's not a matter of mercy. It's not a matter of laws. Plenty of people will kill you for some fanatical cause.
I get the sense that this is about something to be silenced, contained, kept secret, never let it see the light of day, but is screaming to burst out.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair to say. We have to make certain societal choices for society to work. So I don't really know. He says, keep it under lock and key. You can't really tell. I mean, this song probably deserves a little bit more study, matter of fact. Rush, hold on. Lock and key. Meaning. Says the song deals with the theme of every human being's primal violent instincts underneath their civil appearance, their killer instinct. So this is song meanings. People will just give their feelings on the actual song itself. Here's one person says, many songs on Hold Your Fire are written around a central theme of instinct, inner feelings, and primal urges. In particular, some of the songs, this one included, seem to address how people let things slide for the sake of a quiet life or a clear conscience. Check out Turn the Page, Jack of Nature, Open Secrets. So we haven't even looked at those. But yeah, I think that's probably true. And, that actually ties into the album's title, Hold Your Fire.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
And here's another. I find this tune a little puzzling. It almost seems like they're saying keeping our primal urges to kill under control is a bad thing. Yeah, I agree. It's not saying how our own primal urges are good or bad, but because of others, we face the difficult, although sometimes all too easy option of locking them away. Kind of runs the spectrum just in those comments. Is it for good, for bad? Is it for a just cause, or are you just locking up your opposition? All of that.
Yeah, it just seems to be about, keeping something under wraps or something. It can be difficult if it tries to get out of under wraps or whatever. Maybe this is something that needs to be silenced, or maybe it's something that needs to be heard.
Well, I guess they're talking about killer instinct, but it does also feel like maybe opposition. Okay, folks, so why don't you let us know what you thought of this song? If you've ever heard it before, did you have this album? Had you already jumped off the Rush train by this time? Have you ever seen them play it live? My guess is it probably didn't make it past the Hold Your Fire tour, but I don't know that for sure. Let me know if you've ever heard it on other tours. And if you have other suggestions for us, please leave those below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you enjoyed our presentation, please subscribe. All right, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next one. All right, take care, folks.
See y'all later.